So good morning. Today I'll present about my food journal and I'll talk to you about my diet and I'll answer to a couple questions that was told me to answer in my summative assessment. And now in this part of the video I'll answer, do you feel like you're eating a balanced diet? Are you eating from all the food and nutrient groups? Which ones are you eating from mostly? So let's get a head start. First, let me tell you that the main groups that I cover is fruits, vegetables, dairy, and grain. In fact, those are the ones that I included in my food journal, as you might see. And I don't feel like I had a too much of a balanced diet since I don't have a lot of vegetables. Occasionally on my graph you'll see vegetables when you see smashed potatoes and all that, because that comes to be smashed potatoes. That comes to be actual potatoes. But the issue of that is that although it contains smashed potatoes contains potatoes, they have all sorts of complements that sorts sort of adds fat to the smashed potatoes in that. But I won't get too much into that. And I feel like the most that I have intaken, like as a food group, as you might consider, is it's protein. Although I haven't really added it on my food journal. And let me clarify that this is my week 2, as you might see here. And I say protein that's all over us because protein is on our poultry, whole grains, legumes, dairy products, nuts, eggs. It's everywhere. And let me get a head start. Something that on my research really called my attention is that it's into eggs that I kind of knew, but in a boiled egg can contain around 6 grams of protein, something that I found really shocking. But something interesting that I heard that while I was researching and I was reading is that both eggs, whole grains and legumes and some nuts are what they complete are what they tell to be incomplete protein. What basically means is that they're not complete protein as the word says, but also that for it to be considered as protein, you have to add sort of like another complement that is considered also an incomplete protein. But I won't get too much into that. Um, I feel like I have covered most of like all the 4 groups, but I should eat a lot more vegetables, and that's kind of my reflection for this one, and that's something I should change in my diet. And as I was saying, the thing that I most eat is protein. But something interesting about protein is that it has 2 sides. The first side that's a positive is that it gains you muscle mass, energy expenditure, satiety, and lower risk of disease. And for those who don't know what satiety is that protein is very satiating, and increases protein can lead to a decreased calorie intake and weight loss. Something that's very shocking for me, and something that might be very helpful for those who are obese. And let's not get too much into that. But also, there's a myth that protein can damage your kidney. And the kidney, for those that don't really know about the function, is that the kidney is a remarkable organ that filters unneeded substances and liquids out the bloodstream, producing urine. That unneeded substance in your body is produced through urine, and obviously you throw it away. And but the main thing is that it deteriorates the kidney, and it makes it harder for the kidney to do its job. And that's something that's the bad side of really eating protein. And that's pretty much it for this part of the presentation. And let me just show you a little. Just let me just give you, well, basically show you what's my food journal like. You see, I have yogurt. I have a huge variety of like pasta, pancakes, eggs, bowls of fruit, ribs. I have very different, very different meals like every day, but that doesn't mean they're healthy. That's something I should understand. But it's not only about me eating all the vegetables. Of course, I need protein, but I need to balance all this. And that's pretty much. I'm gonna wrap this up, and then I'm gonna talk right now about how did you feel after eating certain foods? Thank you. Okay, so now with the question that what did I feel when I ate different food? So first, obviously, when I ate a lot of sugar, it made me have more energy for a certain time of for a certain time. But then I kind of felt like it wasn't enough for my body to function. That's one of my main observations, and I really understood when I was like taking care of my diet how your food defines you, and how depending on your food, on the food you intake, the amount of energy you have for the day and all that. And that happened with me when I had like breakfast that for example didn't have too much protein, or didn't have too much things that boosted my energy, such as like energy, like basic energy, like fruits, vegetables, and all that. And that's something that I noticed. And what I noticed is that eating fruits gave me an overall better feeling of my body. I don't know how to really explain it, but I felt better. I had my mood was better. I think, and I don't really find a reason to this. I have been doing some research, but I haven't really seen a valid reason for me to tell you in the video, and that's pretty much it.